Okay, today we're going to do our Unit 2, notes number 8, which is converting radicals. So this is going to be our last set of notes before we take our Unit 2 Part 1 test. So a couple things we want to remember first is the opposite of squaring a number is taking the square root. So yesterday we learned about how to simplify square roots and how that's the opposite of squaring. So we're going to take that into account today. So we're going to go from rewriting it from exponential form, which is where it has an exponent, to rewriting it in radical form. So whenever we have, like our first one, we have a m over n. So the m is going to be our exponent, and the n is going to be the index. So what that means, whenever we write it in radical form, we're going to create our square root symbol, which is our radical. We're going to put our base, which is the a, inside. And then there's a couple ways you can write it. So the m we said was the exponent. So the m goes on the a, and then the n is the index, which goes in that little hook. So another way we can write this is square root of a with n in the nook, and then we can raise this to the m power also. So it doesn't matter if your exponent goes on the outside of the parentheses or if it goes on your base or on your radicand under your radical symbol. Okay, next one. So we have x 5 over 2. So this is going to be our exponent, and this is going to be our index. So we're going to have square root. My base was 5, my exponent, which is the top, and then our index is the bottom, which is the 2. So I can rewrite this as square root of x, that needs to be a 2, raised to the 5th power. Okay, next one I have 12 2/3. So 2 is my exponent, 3 is my index. So we're going to do our radical, 3 and then 12 to the 2nd. So this would be 12, and then you can do your parentheses with the 2nd power. And then the last one, we have 5 to the 3/4. So 3 is our exponent, 4 is our index. So we're going to have 4, 5 to the 3rd. So another way you can write this, raised to the 3rd power. Okay, so that is how we rewrite it from exponential to radical form. We're also going to do the opposite on the back page. So example 1 says select all the following that are equivalent. So our first step is, since it's a power to a power, we got to multiply. So 4 times 1/3 is going to give you 5 to the 4/3. So if we rewrite this, 4 is my exponent, 3 is my radical. And remember, I can also rewrite this as with the exponent on the outside. So there's a couple different ways you can write this. So let's go down, and so we said 4 over 3. 5 to the 12th is not an option. We said this one was an option. That's how we rewrote it. We said 4 goes on the outside. So this one has a 3 on the outside, so that's not possible. This one has a 3 on the exponent, not possible, and then this one has the 4. So you have to be careful about which one goes on the outside, because we're going to give you those ones that don't do that. So it says rewrite in radical form. So this would be 275. So remember, this is the same as saying the square root of 75. I now want you guys to simplify this. You should realize that 25 times 3 goes into this, and that the square root of 25 is 5, so 5 square root of 3 would be the answer. So sometimes you will have to simplify that, so keep that in mind. Okay, let's go into the back page. So again, we have our table, except we're going to rewrite them in exponential. So if you remember, our index is our denominator, and the exponent is our numerator. So if I rewrite this, my base is x, my numerator is m, and my denominator is n. So the next one, I have square root of x to the fifth. So remember, if there's not an index right here, we can automatically know that it's 2. So 5 is going to be our numerator. So we're going to have x, 5, and then 2 is going to be our denominator. Okay, next one, x 6 to the third. So we're going to have x, and then our exponent is our numerator, our index is our denominator. Now this is the same as saying x to the second, so sometimes this will be able to simplify. Okay, next one we have 4, and then we're going to have 10 over 4. So we're going to have 4, 10 over 4, and we're just going to leave it like that. So that's how we rewrite it. So you're going to have to be able to do these on the test. So make sure you guys remember the index is your denominator and your exponent is your numerator. Okay, we got to simplify the following. So this you can write as 16, 3 over 2. And you could also pull that 3 to the outside. Oh, and some of them have it simplified. So this will be an option. That one's not, because see, those are different. That one's not. Where's the other? There's the 3 over 2. Okay, now we have to think about this. If you do the square root of the square root of 6, so if we bring this out and we say square root of 16 to the third power, because that's what it's saying. Square root of 16 we know is 4. So 4 to the third power is going to equal 64. So these two are also options. So sometimes you will have to keep that in mind, that you may have to simplify a little bit. And you can also, you can put this in the calculator if you need to also. So make sure you keep that in mind. Okay, it says rewrite in exponential form. So 7, and then exponent is going to be my numerator. 5 is going to be my denominator. So that's all I got to do on that one. Okay, number 3, it says the volume of a cube related to the area of a face is the equation, this lovely equation. We're going to rewrite this in exponential form. So, you guys, if this wording confuses you, just ignore it. We're doing the same thing we were. So, we're going to have A, 3 is going to be my numerator, 2 is going to be my denominator. So, it says, what is the volume if the cube has a face area of 4? So, this means that your A value equals 4. So I'm going to plug in 4 for my A. So I'm going to have 4 to the 3 over 2. And you're just going to plug that into the calculator, you guys, and you should get 8. So that is the volume of the cube. Okay, going down to simplifying our radicals. Square root of 50. You're going to have square root of 25 times 2, which is going to give you 5 square root of 2. Square root of 45 is going to be 9 times 5, which is 3 square root of 5. And the last one is 12, which is square root of 4 times 3. Square root of 4 is 2, so it's going to be 2 square root of 3. Now, one thing I want to go over, if I said to find the square root of 36, 36 is a perfect, so all you have to write is 6. You don't have to do anything under your radical since it is a perfect square root. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions over this, and you guys can get started on your homework.